Rothbard.
No, and it's a fact that we don't even know what all.
Yeah, first of all, nobody knows what all of Rothbard is because he's publishing books posthumously. Because people like Patrick Newman,
the Trail of the American Right did not come out until after he was dead, and they pieced it together through his files. Patrick Newman, as you said, just came out with
Volume 5 of his history of like
Colonial America.
Yeah, from 1750 to 1800, basically. And I just want to be clear. I don't mean Volume 5 is about that, as in like it's 5 volumes, and the total of those volumes goes up to like the early 1800s. And you'd think, again, if you wrote a 5-volume treatise on colonial and revolutionary and post-revolutionary America, that would be enough. But he didn't just write that. He also wrote a history of the Progressive Era. He also wrote on the Panic of 1819. He also wrote about the New Deal
the Panic of 1819
and the Great Depression. What?
He wrote the definitive book on the Panic.
He wrote the book on the Panic of 1819. If you are studying economics and you are going to read about the Panic of 1819, that it will be Rothbard's book in mainstream circles. For reasons that any listener of this podcast can probably infer, Rothbard is not like cited frequently in mainstream circles at all. But his book on the Panic of 1819 is the book. So he has a 5-volume set on American history, on the American Revolution and its surroundings. That should be enough. He wrote the book on the Panic of 1819, but fine. That's just that's a relatively minor event. Nobody cares about it.
Yeah, okay? But for an academic economist, that's a career.
Yeah, exactly.
You wrote that, and you write a couple articles.
Should be enough. Exactly. I don't think he wrote about the Mexican War or the Civil War. I think after that, he like jumps straight to the 20th century, right? Because then he has America's Great Depression, he has the Progressive Era, and then all of his stuff on just the transformation of the right, like from 1935 up until basically when he died. Any one of those things, right? What the fuck has Charles Krauthammer written? Right? What the fuck has Max Boot written?
Important Things, I think.
Right? What the fuck have any of these other so-called like pillars of conservatism?
What's his book called? He had this really pretentious where it has like a simple title, but it's supposed to make it seem like this book contains the sum total of human knowledge. It was called his last book was called Things That Matter. That was his second to last book. Things That Matter.
The only other so-called pillar of conservatism I can think of who I can say is frankly worthy of the name, even though I don't like him, right? But he's the only one who is worthy in a world where Rothbard exists to say, I'm a pioneer of, I've written a lot of books about it, would be James Burnham.
Yeah.
Right? I don't like James Burnham.
And how many books did he write?
Like 3, right? He wrote The Machiavellians, he wrote The Managerial Revolution, and he wrote, I don't even remember what the third one is, which should say something, but like, hold on, give me a second.
Oh, The Suicide of the West.
Suicide of the West, right? These are, for better or for worse, foundational texts of conservatism in the present day. Actually, for worse, I should be clear, for worse. Not for better or for worse and firmly so.
Have you read The Machiavellians?
No, have not read it.
I liked it. I thought it was really good.
Yeah, okay.
Subtitle is Defenders of Freedom.
Yes. So, I've never read it. I only know that I don't like James Burnham and what he's done to conservatism, but I would never say that James Burnham is not an intellectual. He is. He wrote a lot of articles. He wrote 3 books. So, but who are the fuck are all these other losers? Who are these people? Why do they get attention? And Murray Rothbard is just a god among men and just nothing, right? I had a whole bunch of like media stuff and like clown world stuff. I was going to talk about like multiracial whiteness and Mr. Potato Head. Like, who gives a fuck about any of these things?
Can we make that the title though?
No, that's going to be next episode. Okay, next episode. It always is, listeners. Like all the media and clown world stuff, since it's at the very end, tends to be what Dan and I just get tired and we just roll it over to next time. I had stuff rolled over from like 3 shows ago. I don't even remember what it was. That's how much it doesn't matter. So I think that we're going to cut it off there, like in the sense that I'm not going to go through that other clown world stuff. That's just all gone. And also, I'm going to cut the show here right? And I'll just remember to discuss all this other Clown World stuff next time. And I think what I'll do is we'll front load last week's Clown World to the beginning of the shows of the next one.
I love the gradual breakdown of our format.
Oh yeah, right.
Which is good. It shows that we're having good conversations if we break out of the format.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about Star Wars in the beginning.
That was ridiculous. Like, writing the show notes last time was hard. This time's going to be even harder. It's like, we talked about Andrew Cuomo, and then we had an extended discussion of Star Wars, and then we went back to Andrew Cuomo.
Yeah. So, until next time, I'm Marcel.
And I'm Dan.
And this is The Moral Minority. Cue Richard Nixon.
Let us be united for peace. Let us also be united against defeat.
The same way, too. Trust me.
Will you eat the whole sandwich?
I will eat the whole sandwich.
Yeah?
Absolutely. Oh, yeah. Who made sausage? I can eat the whole sandwich.
No excuses. You know everyone, the county.
It's not as easy to eat this in front of all these cameras as you make it.
Well, that's right.